This right here was me at 15 years old. A kid literally selling fidget spinners in high school to kids in the mornings at the lockers for like 30 to 50 bucks. This right here is a picture of me a year later realizing how skinny I was and that I needed to get ripped in the gym because I've always getting made fun of for how skinny I was. I was a 5'3" Asian kid in high school selling people fidget spinners. This right here is a picture of me being brutally obsessed with the gym because I loved it so much and it reshaped my entire perspective on who I was as a person. I got so obsessed with bettering myself every single day, I made the gym my life. And this right here is a video not so long after of me literally trying to make dropshipping videos for my products. I realized the gym was not gonna make me rich and I only had like $18 in my bank account at that time. I knew I had to lock in on something and it was not going to be a job. I wanted to do anything but work a job, so I decided to do dropshipping. Starting a business was not all fun and games though, because I remember I would take days, if not weeks, if not months of constantly taking down notes, always learning and trying to get better at the game and make money, but I'd fail month after month after month. In fact, for 10 straight months of working 14 hours a day, 7 days a week with absolutely no breaks, not caring about my birthday, not caring about other people's birthday, and really neglecting my mental health, I still found no success in dropshipping at all. This is clips of me right here, literally shooting custom content for products that I would find and try to sell. You guys may or may not have seen this product, the Dear Person Behind Me hoodie, before. I was so obsessed with wanting to make this work, I was willing to do whatever it took. After around 10 months of brutally failing, I finally decided to invest in my knowledge and I realized how trash I was at this business model. I told myself, I have around $300 to my name from working a 9-to-5 job of teaching little kids how to code. Let me invest 50, 100 bucks into a community and see where this takes me. First one was a complete flop, but the second one actually helped me. And this is when I started to see success and actually see results in my dropshipping business. At this point, I had around $5,000 in my bank account and my parents were telling me I had to go to college. I was pretty much forced to go to college and I went to the orientation day. But this is where it sparked and it literally clicked for me where I was not going to college at all. They had us doing chants and pronoun exercises at the college on orientation day and I knew I was not going to deal with that for 4 years. My bank account started to grow and sooner or later I had 15 grand in my bank account, but I still felt insanely broke. In September 23rd of 2023, I remember I hit my first $12,000 week and this was absolutely a euphoric feeling. I was finally starting to make some sort of money. That product, which I'm going to be breaking down in this video, made me my first $100,000 of profit online. But as always, great things must come to an end. And after making $100,000 of profit online, that business fell to the ground. What I thought was my ticket out and was gonna make me a millionaire actually made me really shook of just how everything just crumbled right in front of my face. You can see right here, I finally hit 100 grand in my bank account. And so what I decided to do is started taking the first class flights to France. I started going and I bought a Rolex for $15,000 and I came back to Miami for the first, or I came to Miami for the first ever time. After that business failed and actually just crumbled to the ground, I realized I had to lock back in because I was not making any sort of money anymore. I loved e-com so much and I just wanted to continue to play the game after making all that money. I knew I had to take my business to the next level. Funny enough, my first ever time being in Miami and staying at a building called the Icon Brickell, I found a product and I tested it on day one, which I'm also going to be breaking down in this video. Day one, for half of the day, only got me one sale and I was unprofitable, but later on in that day, I ended up getting a 7 ROAS and scaling it up 1 month to $300,000 and the month after that, close to $1 million. This store ended up making me around $1.6 million in revenue in just a span of 180 days. And ever since then, I've just been continuing to learn the e-com game, get better at every single day, and use my money to also build other cool things on the side. I know that was a lot to take in, so let's start from the top. I want to give y'all a little bit of a case study feel with this video, basically kind of show you guys how my journey has been with e-com. I'm not here to sugarcoat this business model by any means. I will be the first person to tell you that this is not an easy business model, but it is definitely worth it and it is definitely possible. This right here is my first ever winning product that actually made true money, my first $100,000 of profit online. It actually changed my life. As y'all can see right here, I started running this all the way back in February 5th or February 3rd of 2021. I remember being so in the loop of testing products, I just wanted to just continue to test products. I wake up one day and I have like a 3 ROAS on TikTok ads. I wish I could hop into the ad manager to actually show you guys what the day one looked like, but this ad manager is long gone. It got banned a long time ago because I literally ran this product all the way back in 2021 of November. So it's been a long time since I've ran this product. It's been, now it's February of 2025. You guys can see right here though, the first month I ended up making $15,383.92. Keep in mind, I had no idea how to scale any products on TikTok, and this was my first ever time seeing a profitable ROAS on TikTok. I had no clue what I was doing, and I actually had no knowledge on how to scale. This was also a kind of gray hat product, and I don't mean I was scamming people, I just mean it was a hard product to source. And on top of that, it was also a product that got a lot of chargebacks because my ads had some crazy stuff in it and my ads didn't really deliver on that. And so people were like, oh my gosh, and they just ended up charging back. TikTok also looked at it as kind of like a high risk industry. So they didn't really mess with it too much. If any of y'all have seen High Smile and the V34 color corrector, it's a product very similar to that, and how like, oh my gosh, it's gonna make your teeth super white. When people actually use it, they're like, oh, this is way worse than the ads were. We can see in the second month here, I ended up doing $63,000, $854.42. This is when I really started to get the hang of things, and I was like, oh shoot, now we're actually making money. Something else I'm not mentioning is, since I was getting banned on this product, I learned to adapt very quick, and I was getting constantly banned on TikTok. I'd have to always rebrand this store with new logos, new domains to continue to scale up my ads because I'd always get banned. What I also ended up doing at the same time in this month, December 2021, is I opened up a second Shopify store, uploaded the same exact product, and just ran my winning ads congruent with this store. So right here, where I did $63,000, on my other store, I remember I did around $40,000 in revenue as well, which equated to my first $100,000 month ever, which was December of 2021. As you can also see, things kind of continued to keep on going up. We ended up doing $73,000, and I think this was the first month I ended up doing around $130,000 in revenue. And at the peak, this store hit around $98,000 in revenue, but my other store was completely wiped out. And I remember that store ended up doing around $20,000 in revenue. So I only ended up doing around 110K revenue this month. But you can see as things started to go up, things also quickly came crashing down. I was selling this product solely in the UK, and you can even see right here, it came all from TikTok. This is TikTok as well, but you can see all the traffic came from TikTok. I had no idea how to do meta ads at this point in time. So this was purely TikTok traffic. And on top of that, this wasn't even in the US. I was selling this product solely to the UK, because what I did is when I found this product on PP ads, I realized this product is being scaled in the US, but nobody's bringing this to the UK. I got introduced to this method by selling stuff in the UK, pretty much just look at what's doing good in the US and bring it over to the UK. I got introduced to that method pretty early on in my journey, and so I decided to implement with this product. I pretty much sold to absolutely everybody in the United Kingdom, because I remember I was checking my frequency metric, which was basically how frequent a viewer is being shown your ad, and it was like 5. So like literally like everyone in the UK who was potential buyers has already seen my ad. And that's when things started to quickly fall, because I was like, I cannot scale anymore. I don't know what to do. And so my business quickly fell. As y'all can see right here, the conversion rate was literally like 2.69%, which was nothing crazy, and the average order value was $21.66. By no means was this any sort of mid-ticket or high-ticket product. This was actually a very, very low-ticket product. I wish I could show you all the store, but can't really do that because I have some people that I know who are also kind of running similar brands to this, and I don't really want to leak this industry. But what I will say is that even though my AOV was low, even though it came crashing down, it was still very, very fun to run this store because it was my first ever time scaling up a product, and I made my first $100,000 of profit online. At this moment in time, I was still living with my parents, and I could have been going crazy afterwards. I could have moved here to Miami. I could have bought a BMW M3, M4 comp and just blew all of my money. But the weird thing about it is when I had $100,000 in my bank account, I felt more broke than ever. I had all this money, 6 figures liquid in a bank account, and I had literally just turned 18, and I just felt more broke than ever. I said I had a business that was doing so well, making 130 grand a month, and it just came crashing down to my face. And I was like, this is absolutely horrible. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to even spend $1 until I know I have another business making me equal, if not more money. After seeing that business crumble, I knew I had to lock back in. So literally what I did is I sit in my room every single day, just like I would when I try to find the first winning product. And I did exactly what I did for the past 10 months to get there. To my surprise, nothing worked. After a month, nothing. 2 months, nothing. 3 months, nothing. And I kind of sat in my parents' bed, or I sat in my childhood bedroom wondering to myself, how did I just make $100,000 online, but I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing? It was this weird time because I was like, I'm considered rich, but I have no idea how to reach the next level, millionaire status. I wanted to become a dropshipping millionaire. All in all, with that store I just showed you in the past and the other one that was kind of running congruent, I made my first $500,000 in revenue with dropshipping. I'll be the also first person to tell you right now, you don't need to be good at business to make money with it. I've never really been good at business, and even after making my first $100,000 of profit online, I had no idea what I was doing. And so I tried to replicate it after month after month after month, and finally all the way in June of 2023, that's when I finally found another product that worked. Y'all can see right here in June of 2023 is when I started to make money again. So do the mental calculations for how long that is, but it's a very, very long time. Weirdly enough, in that period of when my business died, literally this store right here, it's my second ever biggest winning product that started to make me money. Every single day I went back to the drawing board and I would test 5, 6, 7 products a day, and I'd throw stuff at the wall just like I did to find my first winning product, and nothing ever worked. Only was until like 6 months later where I literally sat down in my chair and I said, okay, what did I do differently? I did to find my first winning product that I can do to find my second winning product, because clearly testing a bunch of random products isn't working for me. But that's what I thought I did to find my first winning product. In reality, what I did to find my first winning product was I took a product which I knew was selling well in the US by just looking at PP ads, its impressions, and looking at where the competition was selling the product. And I said, let me do something different. Let me create a really good offer. Let me create my own ads, and let me just bring it to a market like the United Kingdom. And so I took that same exact concept. It was my first ever time traveling here to Miami. I remember it. I was staying at the Icon Brickell and I tested a product. I said, okay, let me try to take this think different mindset. And I found a product on PP ads which looked like nobody was selling it, right? So I said, okay, the competition's low. This person's selling in the US. I want to scale up a brand in the US this time. So let me test it over in the US instead of bringing it to the UK. But let me, instead of just copying them, let me create better ads and also make a better offer than them, because they were selling this product for like 50 bucks. So I decided to sell mine for like 30. I was like, all right, let's see how it goes. I remember I tested it for day one. 30 bucks is spent and I get like 1 sale. I'm like, oh, okay, this is, another flopped product, but I got a sale with it. I was testing 2 products that day, I remember. It was this product right here, and then it was a Galaxy space projector. Not the one that you're thinking of, it was more of a new uptrending version. But I remember that Galaxy space projector was literally doing better. With like 30 bucks spent on both of those stores, like the Galaxy projector got me like 3 sales, and then this store over here only got me 1. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll put my focus in the Galaxy space projector. And then I was gonna turn off the campaign, but I literally forgot about them. I remember that day I went out to dinner and I forgot about it. And so later on that day, I hear a cha-ching. I'm like, oh, it's probably for the Galaxy space projector. But I look at it, I was like, oh, it's for this store. Sweet. Because honestly, I liked this product that I was selling more. I had more conviction in it. And so I was like, okay, sweet. And then 15 minutes later, another sale comes in, and then another sale, and then another sale. And then they just keep on flowing in. I remember I surf scaled my campaigns that day, and I ended off with like $300 in profit. And I was like, there's no way that just happened, because I almost killed the campaign when I only got 1 sale at 30 bucks. My CBO was literally at a $50 daily budget. So I remember I just made all that money by essentially spending and being in the mindset of willing to spend an extra 20 bucks. If I wouldn't have low-key forgot about that campaign and just let it spend an extra 20 bucks, I would not have been able to scale this store past like $1.5 million in revenue. And I think that's a huge opportunity cost to talk about. Is a lot of y'all, even myself, when I was testing, found my first ever winning product. I tested over 300 products. Yes, 300. I know that sounds insane. I tested 300 products to find my first ever winning product, because that's how bad I wanted it. I tested 300 products, and I remember for like 250 of those products, I'd always kill them after $5 to $10 of spend on it, because I'd look at the CPC, I'd see the CPCs were good, and I'd turn it off if it wasn't below like $1. That killed so many winning products. And on this product right here, I just let it spend. I said, you know what? Do your thing, ad manager. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you spend. And I remember I tested this product, and you can see right here from October 1st to January 31st, or no, sorry, in the month of June of 2023, we ended up doing around $34,000, but we really started to scale up over when we got here, which was July of 2023. And this was my first ever $500,000 month. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Keep in mind, this month right here was like pretty much all TikTok ads. So I still was not a meta ads person. This was still solely on TikTok ads. I was literally just taking campaigns and duplicating them to the moon. I saw whichever ads were doing well. I would create 5 to 10 variants of it for the next day. I'd post those in a CBO, and whatever ads were doing well, I'd put those in a CBO together at a $100 daily budget. I'd duplicate that campaign like literally 75 times. I remember that's literally what I was doing because there was so much scalability. I would literally scale this product up. I would duplicate campaigns, and as I spent more money, the CPAs would literally drop. This does not happen very often. This is a very rare case, but I remember like I was in shock. This was also the month where I started to build out my teams for dropshipping. As you guys get to like around the $500,000, $1 million a month with e-com, you're gonna quickly realize stuff is not possible to do on your own. I had so many logistical issues going on. I had so many customer emails coming in. I wanted to do email marketing, optimize my website. I started to hire teams very, very quick. So you may think making $500,000 in a month may be good, but this is probably the most stressful part of my entire life, probably causing me why I'm bald now. I remember I hired like 2 full-time editors to make ads for me because it was not worth my time to make ads anymore. I hired 4 VAs to help me with emails, which were literally all on payroll for like $5,000 a month. I remember I brought on an email marketer, a content strategist. I brought on a manager for the brand. I brought on store builders because I was adding more SKUs and I was changing upsells. I was always optimizing the page. I brought on full-time UGC creators because there was only so much content for this brand. I realized I have to adapt very quick. And so in order to keep majority market share, I have to constantly be pushing out content. And so I brought on full-time UGC creators, I shipped them my product, and they sent me UGC content. What I also did very quickly was I branded out my store during this month. So as I found very, very big proof of concept for a product, I shipped it out to the UGC creators. I said, make me these custom gifts for my store so I can put it on my website. And they basically made it for me. I watermarked it and I put it on my store. So I have a super branded store now with all custom content, with branded packaging, branded logo, branded, thank you card and the orders and stuff. And I was like, we are balling. Funny enough, all great things come to an end. So the next month, we ended up doing $646,000 in revenue. And this was actually the month where TikTok got banned. My TikTok ad manager got banned, but I decided to go over to meta ads. This was like low-key a devastating time because since all my traffic was coming from TikTok, there was a point in time where like I was only doing like 1K a day just from people coming back and buying. But I was like, wow, I just went from, on this store, we hit highs of $46,000 in a day. I was like, I just went from $46,000 a day to 1K a day. This is devastating. So I decided to bring all of my knowledge, my brand, my winning ads, my winning offer, my winning store that was already optimized over to meta ads. And I remember the same exact thing happened. I put the campaign for $50 budgets a day. The first day it got me like 1 sale. I was like, all right, that's it. That's the extent of this brand. And then I remember I let it spend for day 2 and I was like, oh, it's getting me like a $14 CPA. And then day 3, it gave me like an $8 CPA. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening again. So what I want to tell you guys is when you guys test a product on TikTok, the way that it acts, the way that your customers come in, you have to understand your ad manager. If your sales come in waves, if you tested it for day 1 and you're unprofitable, but profitability and your pixel really cooked up and it started to focus and lower CPA as the time went on, it's probably going to translate the same exact way over to Facebook as well. And that's kind of what I've learned is what happened to me over on meta ads when I like brought all my winning creatives over was the same exact thing that happened over to me on TikTok. I just had to let it spend and over time it optimized and it really found that target customer. As I brought it over to meta ads, I was like, okay, this is really happening now. And so at this moment in time over here in August, I literally got TikTok back up and running in like 2.5 weeks. And I was literally scaling up meta ads and spending like 20K a day on meta ads. I can make this even longer over here. I can bring it all the way over to March. Okay, well that's 1 day. Did not mean to do that. Hold on. Yeah, so y'all can see right here, we did $646,608.46. I was constantly adding new SKUs to this store. You can see our customer return rate was literally 4.26%. So we had customers coming back a lot. And bro, life was good. I was like, the prior month I've built out a team. I'm paying people. They're all happy because they're all from the Philippines overseas making a bunch of money and they're all eating. I'm eating. But at the peak of this month, this is where I truly screwed up. This product was selling so well, it was actually selling a little too well. And so as I had more competition, more eyes watching me, at one point I had to like 300 people tracking me on Shop Hunter. I had a lot of competition hop into the space. And so keep in mind, at the time of me creating this brand, I still didn't really know much about dropshipping, right? Because my only prior experience to scaling up a store before this was a store in the UK that ended up failing and falling to the ground, which made me my first 100 grand, which I knew I had no idea how I got there. And I was like, okay, this was my first ever time actually running something for real, where I branded out the packaging, I added my custom logo, I got branded content and everything. And so I remember I get a message from my supplier basically saying like, hey, we have to increase our prices because factories know it's selling well, so they'll price gouge it. That's what factories typically do in China, is they can price gouge stuff if they know it's selling well. They do this for pheromone perfume, pheromone cologne, shapewear, all that stuff. And I remember a couple weeks later, I get another message saying, hey, you know, the factories, they can't ship your product anymore because they've run out of the natural material needed to make this product. My product included glass, it had metal, and they were like, China is literally on a shortage of these materials because this product is selling so crazy right now that they cannot produce your product anymore. So at this peak of the month, I had like unfathomable amounts of orders not getting shipped. And this was by far the most stressful month I've ever had in my entire life. Rightfully so, I made the most money. I remember I was like constantly messaging suppliers, you know, trying to find, you know, new suppliers who can ship products for me. And luckily I did find a supplier. The supplier said, you know what, Ben, I can help you ship it, but the only issue is once those products arrived to my customers, the chargebacks started flowing in. This supplier, yes, they did ship my product, but it was a very, very bad quality version of my product. For those of you that don't know, if you ever sell a product, there's a lot of factories that will make that product. And so this supplier, they said, yeah, I can get you a good price, I can ship it out for you. And I was so excited, I obviously took it because I had no other option. But it was such a low quality version of this product. My customers were like, this is horrible. And I even got it. And I was like, this is horrible. It was delivered to the customers like cracked, it was broken. It like was all messed up when you try it and turn it on. I was like, this is absolutely just a logistical nightmare. And so my only other natural response was to avoid all the chargebacks. Shopify was emailing me every single day saying, hey Ben, we see you're getting chargebacks. We're gonna have to close your Shopify payments account if you don't start like getting rid of these chargebacks. And so I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, my business is gonna fall again. What do I do? My only natural thing was to bring back budgets on my ad managers, right? I was spending around 20, 30K a day. And so I decided to bring that down to around like 7 to 8K a day. And I know that may sound, you know, like a good move. That was a very, very bad move because there's something that I didn't know about market share. Keeping market share, especially when it comes to online advertising, is crucial to maintaining your ROAS, your profitability, and also your revenue on your brand. Scaling my ads down allowed maniacs who didn't care about chargebacks to come in and pretty much take the market share that I just gave up and just eat it up instantly and just bring that traffic over to their brand. And that inevitably continued to push me out of the market slowly but surely. I went from spending $7,000 in a day on ads to $6,000 to $5,000 to $4,000 to $3,000 to the point where I was like, okay, I just went from $700,000 a month in revenue to 181 grand. I know that's still a lot of money. My business has basically fallen like a lot. And so I was like, okay, this is not good. Obviously, I tried to bring budgets back up. I tried to recover, but I had already given up that market share. I was like, we're cooked, right? This was all the way in February of 2024. This is where I did $181,000 in total revenue. This was also the time where factories were like, okay, you know, we're ready to ship orders again. We're back, we're rolling, you know, scale your ads back up, Ben, so you can continue to bring those orders. So I was back in the green for logistics, but I was getting outscaled. And so after I started getting outscaled, I said, okay, let me try to get some more market share back by creating new ads, by, you know, changing up my store a little bit. I thought the little things were gonna make a difference, but after every single thing I tried, changed the campaign structure, testing new ads, making new variants, trying old winning ads, nothing would work. I really couldn't scale this brand back up to 700, 800K a month because I was missing a couple of crucial things, which now sitting here in 2025, I know what I did wrong. Number one, it all started when I gave up market share. I have a way bigger network of suppliers now and factories, so if this was ever happen to me again, I know exactly which suppliers and factories to go to make sure my product can always be shipped, and I have priority over everybody else who's trying to hop in the market. Two is I didn't adapt fast enough. I tried to bring back market share, and I added new SKUs to my website, but the people who really pushed me out the market weren't people who ripped my ads and just ripped my offer. It was people who came in the market with better ads and also newer variants of my products. What you guys will see is you guys are probably seeing people talk about like the lifespan of a product. Is at this point in time, all the way in January, everyone on Facebook and TikTok is becoming product aware of what I'm selling and the market of what, you know, we're essentially feeding them with ads. And so everyone knew about this product at this point. And so as people were getting their products arrive to their doorstep from people like me, other brands also selling the same exact product that I was selling, they didn't like the quality of it. And so what people ended up doing over in February is they said, okay, let me hop in the market. Let me bring a 2.0, a 3.0 version to the market, create better ads than all of these other kids. And they kind of just like naturally push us all out of the market because they're selling their product for more, they're selling a better product, and they have better ads. Three things which you pretty much need to push anyone out of the market is a better product, more margin, so more profit margin, and better ads. If you literally have those three things, and I'm literally gonna write this down because like that is like such an important concept, is literally if you have more profit, a better looking product, or a product that does more, and better ads, you can essentially push out anyone out of the market because that is what customers crave. They crave everything better. And so I eventually got fully pushed out of the market, even after trying UGC, doing this, doing that. And so yes, I mitigated chargebacks coming in at the end of the day. It really didn't help because I got outscaled by all these other kids who were like, I don't care if I get chargebacks. Let me just, you know, bring it on, bro. So you can see the next month over here in March, we ended up doing $163,000. So this brand didn't fully die, but I was cruising at around like $100,000, $200,000 a month in revenue. And I was also simultaneously running TikTok, Google, and Facebook ads at the time of running this brand. So although I was getting outscaled on Facebook and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is not good, I was also running Google ads, which was amazing for retargeting and bringing customers back into the funnel. I was still running a little bit of TikTok, but at this moment in time, all the way in March, my TikTok ads were fully off. TikTok is a really good way to find proof of concept of a product. It's not really that good for a long-term sustainable brand because it's the nature of TikTok. It doesn't last for very long. TikTok was good, but over in March, it was completely off. So it was just Meta and Google ads at this point. You can also see I started like really cracking in on upsells and stuff. So I made an extra $24,000 just on upsells with $1.5 million in revenue, which may not seem like a lot, but like it's like takes 30 minutes to set up. An extra 25 grand for a 5-minute task. Sign me up any day of the week. But anyway, after doing all this, I was like, damn, I gave up market share. I didn't adapt fast enough. I didn't do any of this. But at the end of the day, I had just made, you know, in the past from this store and the last store I showed you guys, like $2 million in revenue with dropshipping combined. Now, if y'all are wondering like how much of that is profit, the first store for 500 grand was around $100,000 in profit, as y'all saw from the bank account picture that I showed you guys. For this one, go to my Instagram. It was around $360,000 in profit. And by the way, this was still while I was 18 years old. You're an 18-year-old kid and had just done $2 million in revenue with dropshipping. You feel like you're on top of the moon. So after kind of making all this money, I was like, all right, you know, my life is actually a little more serious now, right? I got to pay a lot more in taxes, but once again, after making all this money, I didn't decide to blow it. I decided to just create more businesses. So I invested that money. I created software companies, which I can literally say to this day have generated hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm working on, even while making this video, more software projects that hopefully will yield me millions of dollars. I started posting about this stuff, which you guys obviously love to hear, and then I opened up communities and stuff, which you guys obviously love to join. You know, after making all this money, you're still a student of the game. And I think that's something I want to talk about is I built a $2 million business at the age of 18 years old, or by the time I was 18 years old. While I'm 19 making this video, I'm still a student of this game. I'm still learning every single day, and I'm learning from my past failures. Although this may have been literally all the way in January of 2024, a year ago, it still haunts me to this day on why I turned down my budgets, why I kind of didn't continue to scale even though I was getting chargebacks. And these are all learning experiences, whether it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, or a month to learn. This is all stuff that's going to not only haunt me, but it's a great learning lesson so that the next time I'm in that situation, I know exactly what to do. A lot of people want to get rich quick. A lot of people just want to create that store, make $1 million, and then just go ghost and live their life. But let me tell you right now, you are going to make mistakes. You are not going to know what to do. Do you think I knew how to create teams when I was hiring people in December? No, I was just going with the flow. I was hopping on 3 calls a day while making 15 ads, while scaling and surf scaling ad managers on TikTok, while learning how to do meta ads, while answering all the emails, while talking to suppliers. You figure it out. I had no idea how to build teams here, but I still built a team because I adapted or I knew that I was going to die. And this right here is kind of where I made the most crucial mistake. A lot of y'all want to get rich quick, but you're not. You have to understand, you're not going to, right? You're just going to need to stack consistent wins on top of each other, and over time that's going to compound. I've been doing this all the way since August of 2022. That's essentially 2 years and like 4 months of doing dropshipping, right? I haven't been in this game for an eternity. I've been doing it for some time, but as I continue to do it every single day, I realize I'm just consistently stacking wins on top of each other, and that outweighs the mistakes that I make that end up kind of having these businesses really take huge hits to it. Because obviously, once again, next time I'm in these positions, I know exactly what to do, and that right there is going to yield me millions of dollars, is learning from my mistakes. Now, if I would have had a mentor who would have told me, yo, don't bring back budgets, that would have been absolutely huge. But honestly, at the time of me making this money, I didn't really know who I was gonna have as a mentor to help me, because quite honestly, I was in the most niched situation. I was like, I don't really know if anyone can help me with this. So I was kind of in my own head. I was kind of in my own kind of bubble, because I was like, all right, I don't know if anyone can help me with the situation. It's low-key a little embarrassing. I'm got like 100 chargebacks on this store. So I didn't like seek any help. And that's another thing, is low-key, if I would have gotten a mentor, I could have easily scaled this store up to $1 million a month. And why do I say that? Is because I have somebody who I literally know who ran a similar brand of the same exact niche of this product and ended up scaling the next month after this to $1 million a month. And so that's super important to realize, is like, yo, like if you find a mentor and you actually are not scared to take that leap in yourself and be like, yo, like I need help, I'm making a bunch of money right now, or I'm not even making any money at all, but I don't really know the next leg to do. Let me try to find someone who I think or has spoken about these past failures in the past and learn from their mistakes, so it doesn't literally cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars. That if that's something I would have done over in January, then I probably would have made a lot more money on this store. But that's not really the way that I can look at it. You don't live life in regret. It's not a good way to live life. But now, obviously, next time I'm put in that situation, I know exactly what to do. My first ever product that I made 100 G's with, I just decided to bring it to a new market that other people weren't. And then anyone who did try to hop my market, I was already had all the market share. I didn't give any of it up because I was constantly pushing out 15 new ads every single day over on TikTok. With this brand, from here all the way up to here, I scaled it up super quick. I mean, bro, look at this. We went from 33K to $500,000 to 646. Like that is a huge, huge, huge jump. And I was just relentless. In that 2-month period of time, I have done so much and I've learned so much about business that is going to stick with me for the rest of my life. I learned how to build teams now in the span of 60 days. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit in the span of 60 days. I've learned how to brand products, how to actually have a good logistical system and a good supply chain in the span of 60 days. I've learned how to brand a store and hire UGC creators in the span of 60 days. I've learned so much in the span of 60 days. I can now carry that to any business that I now do in the future. And I kind of have. I mean, for example, for my software company, that's made me $100,000. I've taken the same exact concept of, okay, let me see what's doing well in the marketplace, but let me think about how I can do it better than everyone else and just absolutely dominate. And that's literally what I did, and it's yielded me hundreds of thousands of dollars. Kind of the concept, and that's what I've realized works best for me. And I'll just kind of tell you that it probably will work best for you. I don't know, everyone has different strategies, but personally for me, doing stuff differently than other people, thinking outside the box, thinking about how you can do something better than the other person next to you, has always yielded the highest ROI for me. I know it may be easy to look at me as a 19-year-old living in Miami. Also, I did just buy a McLaren 570S, so that is pretty sick. But I know it's easy to look at me as a 19-year-old and be like, damn, this dude is absolutely crushing it. Number one, I appreciate that. But two, it's like a lot of people, they don't see the months and months of me failing. Once again, it took me 300 product tests to find my first ever winning product, the one that made me $500,000. If there's one piece of advice I can leave y'all with, it's probably die rich or die trying. I'll catch you guys later.